All right, a Freilchen Erev Purim, or Purim. So I wanted to talk about Purim, what we are celebrating. You see, we know we're in the Chodesh of Adar right now. Mishenichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. Purim is such a happy day. What's all the Simcha about? You know, with all this anti-Semitism going around in the world, there was a video that was taken off of YouTube somewhere that showed a Megillah laning in a yeshiva. I won't say which one. And it had, in the middle of the Megillah laning, when Haman was finally hanged, it had one of the Rabbanim get up to the bima, not to the bima, to the Aron, in front of the Aron, and hang Haman. They had a gallows over there, and they hanged Haman. And the video stops and says, "What are these crazy Jews doing?" and pointed to and then it had one of the people, everybody was cheering, and one of them had a cap gun and was shooting at the Haman man, and the guy pointed out gun. And suddenly two of the Rabbeim of the yeshiva go up to the front, and they started to dance and do the Chazaq. And these are Chashav Rabbeim. And overnight it got, I think, 2.5 million views, besides being reposted everywhere. And the comments were, of course, horrible comments, because that's what's going on nowadays. And what's very interesting is that so I happen to know which yeshiva this was at. I'm very familiar with the yeshiva. I won't say just in case. But I happen to know which yeshiva this recording came from. I'm very familiar with the Rabbeim. Mamish, Chashav, Gar, Chashav Yidden. And just in case I would be questioned about that video, because I do have a shaykhus to that yeshiva, I had to think of something like, what happens if, what happens if this goes beyond 2.5 million people? What happens if this goes really viral? And one of the news stations calls up and says, "Can you just explain? I don't even have words to ask. What are you guys doing? Like, we know Yidden, we know, but I'm saying, can you explain what's going on over here? This does not look like a doctored video at all. So just explain." So I'm going to say, like, you know what? A long time ago, 2,000 years ago, we had an enemy of Klal Yisrael, and we won that enemy. Like, okay, that doesn't explain it. I mean, do you guys have a special day that Hitler committed suicide on, and like we have that day and we're all dancing? Well, what exactly is the riboy of Simcha? It's very hard to explain to Rabbanim doing the Chazaq on the Aron. So the explanation is that we came up with is, sir, you got to sit down. I have to explain. We got to start from scratch. In fact, the Arizal says that Purim is the holiest day of the year. It's famous already that Yom Kippur is a day that is like Purim. And the Chaim Friedlander brings down from Reb Dessler that Yom Kippurim was a day that we serve Hashem with Yira, and Purim is a day that we serve Hashem with Simcha, with Ahava, and Ahava is a greater Madrega. He brings down from the Goyin there, Reb Chaim Friedlander brings down from the Goyin as well, that Yom Kippurim is a day that we got Matan Torah, when we got the Torah. Because we had 40 days of tshuva and 40 days of dveikus to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, we were finally zoichet to the Torah, and it was such a Kabbalah that from then on it was Mesugal in the Bria to have a Yom Kippur from then on to get that shaykhus to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And at the same time, there was an element in that Kabbalah of being forced. As it was known, we in the initial Kabbalah Satira, we had a mountain over our heads. We understood that if we weren't Mekabel the Torah, the entire world would just stop. It was so clear, the level of Kedusha that we were on was so clear to us that of course we had to be Mekabel the Torah. So that itself was considered an oinus. All in all, the initial Kabbalah Satira was slightly coerced, slightly forced. Whereas, explains the Goyin, later on, during the story of Purim, where the Gemara says Kimu v'kiblu, that they were Kimu mashi kiblu kvar, we were re-mekabel the Torah. We went ahead and we were mekabel upon ourselves more mitzvahs. We said, we know what? It's not enough that you gave us all this mitzvah. We're going to get another mitzvah. And we went ahead and we were mekabel upon ourselves the mitzvahs of the day of Purim. We were so excited to be part of the Rebbeinu Shalom's nation, and we were re-mekabel the Torah b'ahava. That was the great simcha. Now, what exactly is that simcha? So, Reb Chaim Friedlander explains in the name of the Goyin You see, up until then, we were serving the Ribbono Shel Olam, and it was all great. Hashem loved us, we loved Hashem, we were in Yerushalayim, we were doing exactly what we were supposed to be doing, and it was a great relationship. But there was a nekuda that we were in the Ribbono Shel Olam's, the Ribbono Shel Olam's house. We were the wife of the Ribbono Shel Olam. We were serving, we were living together. It was such a great relationship. But then it all came crashing down. We weren't sure we went ahead, and Rahman al-Islam, we went ahead, we went against the Ribbono Shel Olam until we were deserving to be sent away from Hashem's house. And at that point, in our first galus, we were not sure. Perhaps it's all over. Perhaps we messed up the relationship to the point that we don't matter anymore. And perhaps the entire time that we were in a relationship with Hashem, it was an ava hataluya b'davar. It was talui on us doing the mitzvahs, on us living in Eretz Yisrael, on us being takanis kabel by Hashem. Was there an unconditional ava? Did Hashem love us to the point that nothing can break that ava? To bein kach ubein kach bonim atem? That we weren't sure about, until it became nizgala that even during a time of Hester, even during a time of Anochi Aster Aster's Panai Mehem, even at a time when Hashem sent us out of Eretz Yisrael, even at a time of Galus, we were still roy to be Hashem's wife. We were still there. Hashem still loved us in an unconditional ahava. We realized that the entire time we were serving Hashem, it wasn't because we were doing what Hashem, it wasn't a business deal. We give you mitzvahs and karbanas every day and you give us life and chayim. It was a true relationship of deep, unconditional ava that the Ribbono Shel Olam had for us. And that fact brought us such simcha to suddenly realize it wasn't just Haman going away. We've had other enemies die. It was the very realization that we were an Am HaNivchar no matter what. That incredible joy that the Ribbono Shel Olam gave us, that incredible realization that came to us, sparked our being Mekabel the Torah. Our saying, Hashem, we are all for you. We're going to do whatever we could under any circumstance. Because when you feel loved and you feel accepted and you feel like, then you reciprocate with that same depth of love. When a person has somebody who shows him unconditional acceptance, unconditional ahava, he's going to reflect that. The Ribbono Shel Olam showed us unconditional ahava, unconditional acceptance. No matter what, you're still sinning, you're still in galus, you go to Achashverosh's party, and even at Achashverosh's party, Hashem goes ahead and starts the wheels where he's showing us that even as we were sinning, I'm still going to save you. The realization of the depths of Hashem's ahava to us caused us to be in such excitement that we are going to do good for you, Hashem. We're going to be there for you, Hashem. And that rekindling of the relationship is what is the cause of such joy. Now, if you see two Rabbeim doing the Chazaq, of course that makes sense. Why? When somebody goes ahead and does something fantastic, you see him jumping all around. I won't bring any mishalim from different places, but sometimes you see people get super excited and they're jumping up and down. They're so excited. That happens. This happens. A person becomes so excited with information that he can actually. This is the information that hits us, and that is what the Goyin says. So the Goyin is medama it to Yom Kippurim is because we got the Torah, and Yom Purim is because we got the Torah now. Bi'ava with a deeper shleimus that we're being mekabel it again with more, with even more mitzvahs. Not only all the mitzvahs that you gave us, but even new mitzvahs. I heard once that there is on a similar depth, going along with this going. Yom Kippurim and Yom is like Purim, because on Purim we are celebrating the fact that we are good no matter what. That our essence is good. The Ribbono Shel Olam loves who we are. Deep down, Hashem loves who we are no matter what. And Yom Kippurim is like that day. You know why? Because we are erasing all our averos, and we're trying to get back to that same level of Hashem loves us. In other words, Purim is the essence that Hashem loves our essence no matter what. And that love that the Rebbeinu Shalom is showing us is integral, it's unconditional. He loves us for whom we are. Yom Kippur is a day when we're trying to get back, to erase all of the extraneous, all of the extra averos that we have built up on us. Similar to this goin, showing that the reason why Purim is so amazing is because Hashem loves us to the point no matter what. So nowadays, we are living in a golus, and it's becoming clearer and clearer, that Mashiach is coming any minute now, any day now. Now is a time when the going gets tough, for us to show our love to Hashem. A lot of times, we'll tell somebody, it's let's say in a relationship, in a marriage relationship. So there's a Nissan. One of the partners is not acting 100%, is not acting like they should be. So what we would tell, let's say somebody's having a rough day. So we say, you know what? We tell the husband, on the day that your wife is having a rough day, that's the day to really stretch yourself, go out on a limb, be super nice. And you know what? At that point, you're going to be buying a lot of points. Because she's going to recognize, if she's a healthy girl, she's going to recognize that, hey, yesterday I wasn't 100% and my husband was mamish a rock. He was so good. He didn't respond. He didn't act back. He was just strong. And she's going to invest a lot of trust in you. Here's somebody I could trust. I could be not perfect and he will still be there for me. I could have a day that's not, and not act 100% myself, and I know my husband will still be a rock. Acting and accepting and being there when somebody else is not perfect buys you so much points. It buys you, I'm not saying leverage. It buys you points. It gives you their trust. It buys you their love. If a person acts even under duress, that buys even more points. The same way is with us if we were to have everything running for us perfectly, if Mashiach were to be here, so then, a person who goes ahead when Mashiach is here, assuming Shitas Harambam, that we're still going to have similar experiences as we have right now in Olam Hazeh. So it's still not going to be such a chiddush anymore if a person goes ahead and is shomer einayim and keeps his seder and is kaveya itim, or he joins a kailo, because it's going to be much easier to do these things. Now, when the going is tough, when the Yetzer Hara is mamish pouring out his last licks, as far as he can, now is the time to show Hashem that we're going to love you no matter what. We are there, and we're going to do whatever we could to display, to reflect this unconditional ava that you have given us. We're going to reflect it back. I was standing next to somebody at a recent Vaharev Nasiim. So you had, I don't know the numbers, maybe there was 500 Bachram being Messiah at the same time. There were 2,000 plus people in attendance. And you had 500 Bachram, some of them with tears, going ahead and being Messiah Masechta for the first time. And the Yehei Shmei Rabba that was in that Chasana hall was so powerful. And somebody was standing next to me, and he's like, I can't understand. Why is Mashiach not here right now? What more could the Rebbeinu Shalom want? What more? You have 500 Bachram here who never finished the Masechta before, and they finished it, some of them knowing it cold. What more can Mashiach want? And I told the guy, I can almost guarantee you that Mashiach is not coming in the next 2 or 3 days. Why? Chas v'shalom, I hope that he's coming every minute. It's a hope. But I'm not a kofer, barabim. But I happen to be that. I ended up being right. So I say, what's the pshat? Because when a person, if the Rebbeinu Shalom is looking at the world, if he sees a person on an upward madrega, I'm not trying to make cheshbonis in the Rebbeinu Shalom, just on our level, just so we could be mechazek. If Hashem sees somebody going up, and he sees a bach who's never finished the Masechta before having such an aliyah, over the next 2 days, don't you think that guy is going to be mamish? He's going to overcome nisyonis. He's going to be able to turn away from things he's not supposed to look at. He's going to be able to make kabbalas. He's going to be able to have a Pesach Seder with a Clark, with a Geshmak, and have a connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom. So if the Rebbeinu Shalom brings Mashiach right now, right now, 2 days before Pesach, all that aliyah that the guy would have had even under duress would be under a time when Mashiach is here. It wouldn't be worth much. So the Rebbeinu Shalom says, let me push it off 2 days. I'll push it off just 2 days. And this way, all that aliyah of these 500 boys and everybody who was mechuzik by coming to that event, they will be able to go ahead and use that aliyah in order to do good. Hashem doesn't want to bring it when everybody's on a rise, because then everything we do in the next 2 days would be when Mashiach is here. That wouldn't count. Instead, what Hashem wants is, Hashem would like us to, Hashem sees that now is money in the bank. Now is a time when when a person is on fire. He wants to go ahead and he's going to use that aliyah, and he's going to use it l'shem. He's going to use it l'shem for the Rebbeinu Shalom. This is the message that we can take. Right now is a time when we see the Mashiach Amamish about to come. The Novi in Zechariah Yudalad says that all of the nations are going to go ahead and gather against Klal Yisrael, gather against Eretz Yisrael and go to war. Who would have? I mean, obviously, again, we believe in every word of the Navi, and up until 5 months ago, okay, so I believe it, and any second now this can happen, Beseder. Now the pieces are all in place. The world stage is set for this. You have the United Nations going ahead, and day after day, nation after nation going ahead, and literally, mamish, bepeh mole, saying, let's destroy them. It doesn't, it's mamish, the stage is set like it's never been set before. And of course, Mashiach can come at any second. We believe that mamish 100%. But now, b'mitzias, b'teva, the stage is set. Yoel says that it's going to go ahead and come after there's a huge nisyonis in Znus. Again, there's nothing like this, like we've had before this dar in Binyanim Elu. This is time now for us to go ahead and be mechazik, to show the Rebbeinu Shalom that we're going to be there for you, even under these times. And this way, when the Mashiach does come any minute now, we'll be in middle of having a Seder, we'll be in the middle of reciprocating the great love that Hashem shows us, and we'll be able to have a glorious relationship with Hashem as we used to during the times of the Beis HaMikdash, this time having all these years of Galus behind us, having built us a deep, deep relationship.
A freilich and ador, everybody, and a huge yasher koach to Chazaq for putting this shir together. Hashem should bench you, the incredible work you do. It's lighting up the world. Hashem should bench you. You should be able to go mechayel lechoyel. You went 18 years, chai. It should go from chai, chayim, la'irech, yomim, vishonim, toivois. Hashem should bench you in everything you do. You should be mekadesh, shem shemayim, and bring Mashiach. We cannot thank you enough for what you're doing for Klal Yisrael. Thank you for having me, and Mitzvah Shem, just for a few minutes together, you and I, my friends, wherever you are watching, to be able to try and get ready for Purim, the Yom HaKadosh of Purim, Abba Aleinu L'Toivo, to feel the simcha, the meaning and the impact of this day, how to take it into our soul, so that we could become something greater and our lives could change from these experiences, because that's what's meant to happen. We're meant to become different people. So what do we want to walk into Purim thinking about and walk out of Purim taking with us as a permanent fixture in our life? And all the Sfarim HaKadoshim already tell us, there are different types of experiences in life. And there are some times that you can see things so clearly. You just see, that's a miracle. I had a miracle happen to me. There were times we went out of Egypt. We saw things that broke the laws of nature. But then there are other times in life. And these are times of Hester. When it's hidden. When everything looks natural. Maybe even bad. What is the yontiv? What is the light that we can hold on to? So that even when we're in a moment of life when we can't see, we'll be able to still hold on, have confidence, have happiness. have power and have joy and have light. The Gemara tells us there will be a Yom Tov that lasts even after Mashiach comes. All of them will be negated. But one will still hang on, and that is the Yom Tov of Purim. Purim will remain. Why? Our Sfarim tell us because Purim is a Yom Tov of Mashiach. What's the light of Mashiach? Is that if you look at the Purim story, as the Chidush HaRim points out, years and years go by. It doesn't happen in 45 minutes like it happens in Shul, depending where you go. If you go to a place that's really quick, they knock it off in 25 minutes. That's how fast the story happened. It was years and years and years and years. And there were so many questions. Why this? Why is Haman rising to power? Why is Hashem allowing Esther to be taken? Why is Mordechai not being rewarded for saving the king? You watch these events unfold. And for years, people were wondering, what's going on? Where's Hashem? And then at the end, when Hashem showed his cards, and all the pieces fell together like an unbelievable dominoes effect, where every piece was in the perfect position. Boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden, everyone went, hallelujah! Hashem was here, not Hashem is here now. Hashem was here the whole time. Haman rose to power, it was from Hashem. Mordechai didn't get rewarded so he could be rewarded later. Esther gets taken to the palace from Hashem to save us. Achashverosh can't sleep at night, it's so that he'll be able to save us. Everything was perfect. Everything was placed perfectly by Hashem. Hidden. So hidden that we couldn't see it when it was happening. But then we realized in hindsight that everything while it was hidden, everything while it was dark, everything while it looked so bleak was really lighting up. Hashem was there the whole time. This, my friends, is the light of Mashiach. When Mashiach comes, we're going to look back on the entire exile. And we're not just going to celebrate, oh, you saved us, amazing, we're out of here. No, we're going to go back and we're going to think about everything we went through in life, and it's going to have such clarity. We're going to realize, Hashem, you were there the whole time. You were holding our hand the whole time. You were dancing with us the whole time. You were giving us blessings the whole time. The entire exile we now see in perfect harmony with the salvation. It was you the whole time. You were just covered. You were hidden. You were hiding. But now we realize you're there the whole time. Says the Rebbe Rabbinim of Shischa, Purim gives a person the ability to make it all the way till Mashiach comes. Because when you go through life, and we hit bumps, and there are hidden things, and we don't see open miracles. And nature looks so real. And difficulties look so real. Unfortunately, right now, we're in the midst of a war in Eretz Yisrael. It's so difficult. But Purim tells us, Gam ki elech begeit samoves, even when I walk in the deathly shadow. It's so dark, it's so painful. Lo iroro, I'm not afraid. Ki ato imodi, because you, Hashem, are with me. You never left me for 1 second. Even when I couldn't see anything, it was you, it is you, it will always be you. And it's good, it was good, and it will always be good. And if we can hold on to that, then we've pierced through the cloud and we've realized the truth that can give us the strength and the happiness no matter what's happening. Because even if we don't have a clue what's going on, we know it's just a costume. We know Hashem is really under there and Hashem is just giving us a hug. I don't see how, but I know it's true. And like the Chidush HaRim says, we have so many questions now, but when Mashiach comes, it'll be just like the end of the Purim story. We'll say, oh, that's why everything happened. And every year when we come to this Yom Tov of Purim, and we think about this, and Hashem gives us the ability to put this in our heart, the clarity that it's all Him, it's all perfect, and even if you can't see anything, even if it's perfectly black and dark and hidden, to know that is my Father who's running all this. That's my Father hidden behind him, and that person, and that event. It's all Avinu Shabbat my Father there, running it perfectly for me. When you can't see, Purim says, know He's there. And that, my friends, is the biggest encouragement and source of simcha. I heard this story from Rabbi ben Shushan on a recording. Unbelievable story. He was in Eretz Yisrael. They went out to eat. He was there for a bar mitzvah. He was making a bar mitzvah for his son. They went out to eat. And when they left the restaurant, his daughter said, "Oi, I left my iPhone in the restaurant." So they went back to the restaurant. They went looking for it. They couldn't find it. So they figured one of the workers swiped it and stole it. So Rabbi ben Shushan says, "Listen, guys, let's go back to our apartment. I have an iPad over there that tracks all the phones. And I'll track the phone. And we'll find it." He said, "But let's not tell mommy because she's not going to want me running around there Erev Shabbos chasing the phone." But he tells his son-in-law, "Let's go." They go back to the apartment. They look on the iPad and they see, sure enough, bleep, bleep, bleep. They can watch the phone moving across Yerushalayim. They see it on the move. Say, "Let's go." They run out of the house. They run down. They start chasing where they think the phone is going. They have to catch up to it. But it keeps moving. It keeps moving. They're watching the whole time. Finally, it stops. They stop. They see it's a group of people. His son-in-law says, "Hey, Dad, who are we going to jump? It's one of these guys. Who is it? We don't know. Got to wait for it to keep moving." Oh, it starts moving. Now it's ahead of them. They're chasing it down Shar Shechem. It looks like it's going to the Kaisel. They're going down Shar Shechem. And it's fairly empty. And as they get to that split-off point, where you could go either to the Arab quarter or to the Kaisel, and they're chasing to go to the Kaisel to follow this phone, they see that starting to walk into the Arab quarter is a seminary girl, a Jewish seminary girl who has no clue where she's going. And chas v'chalila, she's starting to, Rachmana litzlan, go into the Arab quarter, but not just that. Rav Duvi says they could hear the Arab telling her, yeah, come this way to the Kotel. That the Arab is trying to kidnap her. And he sees further in, there's another Arab with a big smile on his face waving her in. Yeah, the Kotel is this way. Rachmana litzlan, who could imagine? They're trying to abduct this seminary girl. Frightening to think. What could have happened? And as Reb Duvi and his son-in-law are running by to chase the phone, they see this. And he quickly stops and he turns and he says, "Hey, you want to go to the Kotel? It's this way." And she goes, "What?" They're saying that. He's like, "Trust me, come. It's this way." He said the Arabs looked very upset with him, but what could they do? Tells the seminary girl to come, and he gets her to safety. Baruch Hashem, but at this point it's too late on Friday. So him and his son-in-law give up on the phone. They go back to their apartment. When they get back, his wife says to him, "Where were you?" He doesn't want to say. "No, where were you?" He said, "Okay, we were chasing," I don't know what his daughter's name was, Dina, whatever. We were chasing Dina's phone. So his daughter comes out of the other room and says, "What'd you say?" "Oh, we were chasing your phone. I was tracking it and trying to get it back for you." She says, "My phone? Oh, I realized it was a mistake. I never brought it to the restaurant. It was here in the apartment the whole time." So him and his son-in-law face each other and they say, "So what were we chasing this whole time?" And Rav Duvi said, "The answer is, we were chasing a seminary girl who thought she was walking alone. But really Hashem was walking with her, watching her and protecting her the whole time. That's who we were sent to go save. The phone was a fake." Unbelievable true story. A girl walking in the most dangerous place, she thinks she's alone. But the truth is, and the truth that Purim screams to us, is we're never alone. Hashem is walking with us the whole time. And even when we don't see it, even when we think, that girl, she has no idea that she was miraculously saved. She's living her life right now like as if nothing happened. She has no idea that Hashem came out of heaven, ripped open the curtain of this world, and said, you, my daughter, I'm with you. You don't even know, and I'm going to save your life, and you'll never know. You'll die. You'll never know until you come to the next world that I was with you the whole time. I was holding your hand the whole time. I was carrying you the whole time. And Purim, when we wake up to this truth, then we start to dance when we realize, Hashem, we didn't even see. We don't see. But we know. We know that you're there the whole time, whether we see it or we don't. And that's the simcha, the unbelievable light, the light of Mashiach that shatters the shell of this world. And we all wear costumes because we say it's all just a costume. Everything is Hashem's costume. Hashem is here in everything. And it's an unbelievable simcha to realize that you're with Hashem every moment. There is no joy as knowing that the creator of the universe cares about you enough that he won't let you go for 1 second. That he won't leave your side for 1 second. There is no greater joy in knowing that that's how much Hashem cares about you. That even when you can't see, even when you're not worthy to see, even when we're not worthy of open miracles, Hashem stays there the whole time. He just puts on a costume. He sits there dressed as a bush and he sneaks along with us and he protects us and saves us and does everything for us. And even the thing you say, oh, that looks so bad. It's not. It's Hashem in a costume. He's giving you a hug and a kiss. And he's saving our life. And we go through life. Unfortunately, we forget. I was thinking of like a mushal. Imagine you're on a plane and the person next to you is holding on to their tray table, white-knuckled. They're already serving the drinks, you're taking the free snacks, everybody just ate, but free snacks, free is free. Everybody's shoveling in the snacks, free pretzels, like as if you've never seen pretzels before. Everyone's eating pretzels. You never eat pretzels your whole life. Only on a plane you eat pretzels all of a sudden, right? Everyone's, pretzels! When they say we can't give out the snacks because of some bumps, everyone's like, now how are we going to survive? You'll survive just fine. You never eat pretzels. Okay, anyways, think about the pretzels. And you're enjoying yourself, but the person next to you is white-knuckled. And you turn to them, you say, Habibi, my friend, relax, what's the matter? Guy says, relax. I'm holding up this plane. If I let go of my tray table, how's this thing going to stay in the air? And you see him leaning. You say, what are you doing? Well, we got to get to Chicago. Chicago's to the left. Come on, lean with me. You say, my friend, firstly, you've lost your mind. Secondly, you think you're holding up this plane. There's a pilot. He's flying. He knows what he's doing. Relax. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself some pretzels. Take out a safer. You're on vacation over here. They're flying you, they'll take you off, they land you. You're holding on with white knuckles. You think you're doing it. It's all Hashem. Let go. Relax. It's all good. Hashem's got this. And the more we can internalize that it's all Hashem and we can let go and loosen our grip, then the more we'll get to see how Hashem's running everything and he's watching us and taking care of us the whole time. My grandfather, Reb Shlomo Tursky, said, the more you realize that it's all Hashem, the more you'll get to see how it's all Hashem. And the more you insist that it's you, the less you'll be able to see Hashem's hand in your life, which is the worst. We have the chance to tap into such joy, but we have to let go of our grip. When I was a kid, we used to go to the mall. We thought the escalator, we used to give the escalator a push. We say, we used to jokingly give it a big push up. I say, that should keep it spinning till we come next time, as if we were the one keeping the escalators going every time we came by pushing. Don't be a fool. The escalator runs automatically. Life runs automatically. Hashem's got this. Let's loosen our grip, relax, and lean into Hashem. To not forget Hashem is the one. And that's what makes everything go. Rabbi Ephraim Waxman said, he said there was a guy who went in Eretz Yisrael to adopt. And he went to the agency, and the agency, they want to see if you're going to be a good parent. So they say, write down your top priorities of life. So the one he put on top was Hashem. So of course the agency is not religious, so they didn't like that. So they started giving him problems with that. And he said, listen, Hashem is my top priority, above my family, above everything. Hashem, Hu Elokim. He's the God of the universe. He's the one I care about the most. So they got bristly about it. They didn't like it. And there was somebody else sitting there waiting to adopt too. And when the person in charge of the agency walked away, he said to the guy, listen, you know what they want you to say. Just write the right answer. So he said, Chas v'shalom. I'm not taking Hashem out of the top slot. That's the truth. That's what I'm saying. Hashem is top. So the agency ultimately said, he can't adopt. Okay, he walked out of there. But he was proud of himself. Hashem is my Abba. Hashem is my Father. Hashem's everything. And I'm not negotiating on that. 9 months later, they had twins. After not being able to have children for so many years, to the point that they went to go adopt, then they had twins. And he called up the other person that was there waiting to adopt with them. And he said to him, I want you to know something. Baruch Hashem, we just had twins. He said, you know what the lesson is? When you don't forget the one, you get two. If we could remember Hashem Hu Elokim, Hashem is the one hidden. Megillas Esther, in all of the hiddenness, we reveal it on Purim. It's all Hashem. Hashem's there with us. He's holding our hands. He's protecting us. He's our top priority. He's our everything. We don't have to hold on white-knuckled. Hashem's got this, and we want to lean into that, and we want to rely on Him, and we want to remember it's Him, and we want to dance with Him, and we want to celebrate Him, and we want to never forget who's running everything and that everything's good. If we lean into that, then Hashem allows us to see so much more of His inner workings, and we can get miracles. If we don't forget the one, we get double back. We get so much more back. This is the Yesod of Purim. And on Purim we go and we hit Ad Lo Yada, this idea that we want to hit till we don't know. That we don't need to know. When you're in the passenger seat, you're okay letting go. Because you say, Hashem's got this. Ad Lo Yada, this Purim, my friends. Let's dig deep. We daven for everything. But at the same time, let's never forget, Hashem's got this. And with all the things that worry us, let's let them go. Give them back to Hashem and say, Ad Lo Yoda. Hashem, I don't know what's going on. I don't need to know because you know you're running this and I rely on you. You're my Abba. You're my Tati. You're my daddy. You're my father. You're my hero, my champion, my best friend. And you run every second. You're always there. And you're in Gaza right now and you've got this. So I don't know what's going on. Like they didn't in the Purim story. But I have the clarity of Purim to know that even when I don't know, I don't need to know. Because you know. And that's enough for me. Because I trust in you, Hashem. I know you're all of reality. And that's all I care about. You're my top priority. And I know I am yours. And there's an unbelievable quote. Hope is to hear the music of tomorrow. Faith is to be able to dance to that music today. The emunah and bitachon of Purim, my friends, the simcha of Purim, the celebration, the Mashiach of Purim, the light of Purim, is that even gam ki elech begeitz amaves, while we're in the dark, while we can't see, while the mask is still up, while the world is still hiding Hashem, we know with our emunah, our faith, We can already hear the music of Mashiach. We could hear Hashem inside of all the world. We know He's there. We hear the music, and we have, with that faith, the clarity to dance to that music today. To go crazy with simcha, because we know that even when we don't know, it's perfect. Hashem's got this, and He's got us. And He's holding us every step of the way. He's holding our hands. He's protecting us, saving us, and bringing us to unbelievable places. That when Mashiach comes, we will see with full clarity how every step was perfect, and Hashem was our pilot the whole time. And we were on the most unbelievable ride of our life. Every one of us, may we be zoiche and merit to touch that joy, that simcha, that clarity. And most importantly, that while Hashem is with us every second, reaching out to hold our hands, we should reach back out and hold on to His hand so tightly and develop that unbelievable relationship that He's offering us, and together walk through every moment of our life, hand in hand with Hashem, dancing together to the music that comes from knowing that everything Hashem does is perfect, and everything Hashem does is out of the most unbelievable love for us. May we be zoiche to that, and a freilich and unbelievable Purim. Dance extra, dance higher, sing louder than ever before, hand in hand with the Rebbein Kol Olamim. Everybody have a zisim, heilige, freilich and joyous, happy Purim. May we be zoiche through our joy to tear down all of the veils, see Hashem face to face, and be zoiche to Mashiach b'mheira v'yameinu. Amen.
We thank the Chazaq organization and Torah Anytime for sponsoring this momentous ability to become inspired. May the Rabbi Shalom help that this drasha be a source of inspiration and chizuk for Klal Yisrael. We go back to the beginning of the Purim story, where Haman Arasha was coming to be Hippel Pur to figure out what should be the month, what should be the time that he should bring this Gzeira onto Klal Yisrael. And it says, Nofal Pur b'chodesh Adar Somach Simcha Gedoyla. He was happy, he was excited when the lot came to Adar that this should be the time where he destroys Klal Yisrael. Amar Nofali Pur b'yerach shemeis by Moshe. I'm able to go and to kill Klal Yisrael Chas v'Shalom on this month, because this is the month that Moshe Rabbeinu died. V'loi haYadeya, says the Midrash, the Haman Arasha didn't know one thing. Shebeshiva ba'Adar meis. Yes, it's true. On the 7th day of Adar, he was nifter. Tomorrow night, v'shiva ba'Adar noilad. But on the 7th day, he also was born. And this requires explanation. Haman obviously was a student of history. He obviously understood and knew when Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter, so he missed that class when they explained that Moshe Rabbeinu also was born. Is it possible to say that he knew one and not the other? There's obviously a depth here of something that Haman understood but also misunderstood, and something for us to grab onto b'derech avoda. We also know, for the Medrash Esther Rabbah, that every time it mentions Melech, it means the Rebbeinu Shalom. It says Achashverosh, it means Achashverosh. But the Heilige Kamarna writes, this is brought on the Rekanti and others, that there's another pshat in the Megillah. Yesh ba'agada, he writes, that says Vayomer Haman, that when it says Haman, Zemidas Hadin. But Achashverosh, when it says Achashverosh, it's taka not referring to Achashverosh. Rather, Ze HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Sha'achris V'reishis Shaloi, that the end and the beginning are his. He comes from the beginning of the world, he comes at the end of the world. Achashverosh is a compilation of the words Achar, of Acharis, and Reishis. Achashverosh, representing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where Acharis and Reishis is Shaloi. So other than this newfound idea that we now have, that sometimes Achashverosh could also be referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but we need to understand in this context that it's referring to the Rebbeinu Shel Olam, who Acharis, the end, and the Reishis, and the beginning is his. Why is it mentioning the end first? It should have said that Reishis and Acharis is the Rebbeinu Shel Olam. Why is it saying that Acharis and Reishis, Achashverosh, mentioning Acharis, the end first? We go a little bit into deeper in Yonim. The pasuk says, "Vatoymer Esther Mamelech Toiv Yovoy Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim El Hamishta Asher Sisoli Loi," and says the Arizal brought in the Svar Magdaishim, "Im Hamal Al Hamelech Toiv Yovoy Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim Yovoy Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim." A Rosh Tevis Yud K Vav K. Yovoy Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim. Again, need to be understood, why is the Rebbeinu Shalom being represented at the time of Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim? But even more so, we ask a deeper question. Adar isn't specifically a good time for Klal Yisrael. Adar is at a time of Hester. Esther min HaTorah minayin. The Gemara asks, how do we know Esther in the Torah? Anoichi Aster, Aster. It's a time that we're lacking his galus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That Esther HaMalka herself said, Keli, Keli Loma Zavtani. She didn't feel the Ruach HaKodesh anymore. She asking and beseeching to the Rebbeinu Shalom, why do you leave me? And this is all represented in the month of Adar. As the Rishon writes in the Sefer Eden Kadishin, brought down by Eden Kadishin Vatam, he says, Shu b'chodesh Adar. And specifically in Adar is because every month has a different compilation, is represented by a different compilation of the Rebbeinu Shalom's name. Chodesh Nissan. Chodesh Nissan is represented with Yismuchu Hashemayim V'Sogel Haaretz, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Everything's perfect. It's the new creation of the Hashem's peoples, where we became Am Yisrael, Klal Yisrael, and therefore everything is set in the proper path. But he says Chodesh Adar is the last of all the months. Nisan is the first, Adar is the last. Adar is the furthest away, says the Rishon, from the Hisgalus, from an Or of Nisan, from the Or of becoming Hashem's nation. We don't feel we're Hashem's nation in Adar. It's a time of Choshech, a time of Keli, Keli, Lama, Zavtani, a time of Esther, a time of Anoichi Aster, Aster Ponai, Bayoimahu. On that day, we don't feel the Rebbeinu Shel Olam. We're missing that Gilui. And yet, Yovoy Hamelech V'Hamon Hayoim is Yud Kei Vav Kei, is referring to that perfect order of the world. That there's something perfect here. Exactly, Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's an order representing Hashem's name. What does this mean? Why should this be at a time of endless Hester, that the Rebbeinu Shel Olam of Yud Kei Vav Kei is being represented? Keli, Keli Lo Mazavtani. We're feeling a lack of Gilui Shechina. Why is Hashem in its perfect order being represented here? But here lies the godless of Purim. The nace of Purim, which is Soif Kol Hanisim. The nace that brings us to Simcha like no other. This is where the secret to Simcha lies. I was in the hospital this past week, visiting a very tired Yid in Lurie's hospital. This Yid was there for his daughter's kidney transplant. A young girl, 7-year-old, a girl who's been very inhibited in the past while because of her sickness, and now she was going into a transplant, a very large surgery. And the father told me, he's a very, very deep thought, a mind-blowing thought, a thought that I truly think changed my life. He told me, I don't want to be here. I don't want this. I want my daughter to be having full kidney function without this surgery. I want her to be in school like a regular girl. I don't want to be, however beautiful Lurie's hospital is, I don't want to be here. But he said, invoking the term that Esther Amalka used, he told me, but Keli Lama Zaftani, I don't see the Rabbeinu Shalom where I am now. I don't feel his Gilui Shechina. I don't feel that he's with me. I don't want to be in this place, but I know he's here. And even when I don't feel his galus, and even when I don't feel that he's doing what I want, I know there's a Keli here, even if my Ruach HaKodesh has left me, because I'm accepting the place where I am as a place where I'm supposed to be. I'm accepting that the place, the downtrodden, the hard place, the place of lack of ar, the place of chayshech, the place of Yavai HaMelech v'Haman Hayoim, Rosh Tevis is Yud Kei Vav Kei. I realize that Haman's here, but I know Hashem's here with me. Keli Lama Zaftani wasn't a mournful cry of despondency. It was a redirection. It was a clarion call to announce to the world that Rabbeinu Shalom, there are times where I don't see you, but Keli, you're here. I know you're here, even when I don't feel it. From a place of losing Ruach HaKodesh, I'm connecting to you. And this is what Haman didn't understand about Klal Yisrael. Of course he knew that Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter that day, and he was also born that day. Of course he knew that. But writes the Rishner, Achta b'zeh. He made a mistake. Ki soif maaseh b'machshava tchila, the way Klal Yisrael and the Rabbeinu Shalom works, is that the beginning is Megala on the end. That like Shabbos Kodesh, he says. Shabbos Kodesh is the last day of the week. It's the day that should be the least amount of or, of eskalus of the week. It should be the day of least energy. That's how it is by the Goyim. Saturday is just a time of letting yourself loose. But by us, Shabbos gives us the or, gives us the energy. Because at a time when we feel the least connected, or sometimes the time that the Rabbeinu Shalom is able to be found in the greatest possible way. Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter and Zayin Adar, but that's the exact day he was born. Klal Yisrael gained strength from their downfall. They're able to witness tragedy and to be part of hardship. But in that, Yavoi HaMelech v'Haman Hayoim, in seeing Achashverosh and Haman coming, they're able to embrace it, that this is Ratzon Hashem, this is where I'm supposed to be. And if so, I know Hashem's there. I know He's with me, and as long as I accept where I am, I'll be able to find that or amidst Anoichi Aster Panai. Famous story of the Rebbe Rav Zisha. He was together with the Rebbe Rav Elimelech. They were in prison, and there was a Beis HaKisei in front of them. They weren't able to say brachas, to learn, and originally they were thinking thoughts of being broken. But the Rebbe Rav Zisha said, if the Rabbeinu Shalom doesn't want me to learn now, if the Rabbeinu Shalom doesn't want me to daven now, then that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm living in the Hayoim, in the Yavoi HaMelech v'Haman Hayoim. I'm embracing where I am now. And even if it's in a place where I don't want to be, even if it's in a time that I want to pass, but I embrace where I am as Ratzon Hashem. And they started to dance. They started to dance together, and as the story goes, brought in many svarim. Suddenly, the prison guard came in and removed the pail, and they were able to say their brachas and the Torah they so much wanted to. They embraced Hashem in the Hastara. They embraced Hashem with Keli Lama Zaftani. I don't feel you, but I know you're there and I'm embracing it right now. And I'm acting upon it. You know, the Gemara says, Anoichi aser aser panai b'yom hahu is zu kasha shebatechachos. This is the most difficult of all the techachos. Why is that so? Horrible things are said in the techachos of the Torah. Why is it specific? These words are the kasha shebakulan, are the most difficult words. And the answer is because we all living in life of has aster. Nationally, individually, we're all in a place where we don't want to be somehow. They're all parts of our life that we don't want to have, that we don't want to be in. That's hastara. But when it's hastara mitoich hastara, when we say because of that, that's it, I'm frozen. I have nothing to do. I'm in a place where I don't want to be, and therefore I'm paralyzed. I can't grow. I can't be happy. That's anoichi aster aster panai. That's the hidden within the hidden, where we can't find the Rabbeinu Shalom in the hastara. We can't find our simcha in the hastara. We can't find the strength to understand that He is here with me. Yovay HaMelech v'Haman Hayoim is Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's something that Haman didn't understand, but it's something that we do. Achashverosh is the Acharis Veracious. The Acharis is part of the Rashis. It comes first. The Acharis, the hardship, the lack of or, the lack of feeling connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Acharis Veracious Shaloi. The Acharis leads into the Rashis. When we find the Rabbeinu Shalom mitoich galusi, when we find Him and say, yes, I'm not feeling up to it. My life is not perfect. My shalom bayis may not be good. My children may be struggling. My parnassas may be something I don't want for it to be in this place. I'm not happy. I'm away from family. I'm with family too much. I'm single. I'm married. I have too few kids. I have too many kids. My Revah understands me. He doesn't. I'm in a place where I don't want to be. I'm in a place of Keli Lama Azavtani. But that's where I find Him. That's why I find a place to grow. Moshe Rabbeinu was Nifter and Zayin Adar, but he also was born on that same day. Acharis Veracious Shaloi. This is why Rashi in Pesachim writes, Mishenichnes Adar Marben Besimcha Yemei Nisim Horyu LiYisrael Purim UPesach. Mishenichnes Adar, the excitement of Adar, the Simcha, is not limited to Adar. It's the start of Nissan. It's the start of the Yud Kei Vav Kei of that perfect order. Is because when we're in the last month of the year and we're feeling far away from that esgalos and that excitement, and yet we say, I'm accepting where I am now. I'm suffering from depression. I'm feeling anxiety, but I'm finding Hashem where I am. I still could daven. I still could learn. I don't feel the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm like Esther Amalka, Keli, Anoichi Aster, Aster. But I realize Acharis is Shaloi, just like Rashis is. When we're feeling the lack, is the same Rabbeinu Shalom that's with us when we're excited about our Yiddishkeit. As long as we move forward and keep our strength with understanding of the notion that there's a Yud Kei Vav Kei right now, there's somehow perfection in where I am now. I embrace it. I'm okay with where I am now. And even if I'm not feeling the excitement, I'm still going to go. Haman didn't know this. Haman thought we break. Haman thought when Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter, there's no turning back. But we are strong. And us, in this generation, when we're going through so much mara shchira, so much depression, so much feeling down about ourselves, we could say, I embrace the hayoim. I embrace where I am now. I know this has a tachlis to bring out a great R. And when we do that, Be'ezer Hashem, when we find the or in the dark, in the b'di'evet, in the adar, in the noichi astir astir, we'll be led into a light that's so bright. In the Yemei Nissan, in the times of real geula, we'll be able to see, not just through the hastara, but begolui, that the Rabbeinu Shalom is with us. He's with us then, He's with us now. So now we have to work to find Him. And Be'ezer Hashem will be Zeiche to our Chodosh Al Tzion Toyer Achers V'Reishis Shaloi. He'll bring Be'ezer Hashem a new Reishis with the Geula Shlema Kar Mamish from Heirav Yameinu. Amen v'Amen.